Hey guys, so I just wanted to make a video on this guy Galan. I've tested him out already and I figured him out and everything like that. And I'm just going to tell you, first thing I want to tell you is that whenever any of these new champions come out, I'm just going to keep it real with you, man. Just look at them for yourself and just understand that a lot of the new ones, they're going to have their use case scenario. I think that's what Kabam's been doing for the last like year or two. They all have a use case, and then beyond that, they're not very useful. So, in this case, for Galan, um, I'm not going to overhype him or anything like that. His thing is direct damage, basically. Burst damage, I should say. I guess they call it now. It's not direct damage anymore. It's like just burst damage. So, um, yeah. All right. First of all, let's go over his synergy. So he has a bunch of useless synergies. The only one that I see that is worth a shit is if you're an Airwalker fan or a Terrax fan, or a Silver Surfer fan. So the Silver Surfer one's pretty good. It allows you to get all his buffs without, you don't have to do all this weird shit and have all these crazy synergies like Mr. Fantastic and Cosmic Ghost Rider just to keep, or like some sort of increase on his Fury, like Cap Infinity War Cosmic Synergy or something, just to keep his buffs up long enough to keep getting all of them. In this case, you just throw the L1 and it refreshes them until you get max, and then it doesn't refresh them anymore. I think Nova as well. I think this one will help him. Let me read it for a second. Pause Nova's Fury, yeah. So you can keep his Fury up, it looks like indefinitely, which will make him a lot stronger. He's already underappreciated, but this makes him especially underappreciated. Because if you can keep that disgusting Fury that he has up, he might actually do more burst damage than this guy here. So, and for me personally, I like the Venom the Duck one. I can get rid of his symbiote buff when I get the trash ones. I can just use a light attack to get rid of them, and then give him 50% aberration so he can swap through them quickly in incursions. So I'll probably use him for that. I might use him in incursions, but I don't think he's not going to replace Aegon or Venom the Duck for me. I'm not sure. He might be able to be the third, but usually I use someone that has immunities as my third, like Scorpion or uh, Clairvoyant or something like that. This one for himself is personally good. You bring Colossus, or if you happen to have Thanos, you bring Colossus, and he converts planetary mass into what do you call it? He takes his resistance and turns it into planetary mass. Um, he gets more basically when you convert them. Is what I'm trying to say. My bad. So when you'll see when you his whole kit is based around planetary mass, and he stacks up to 999 of them. And once you get is over 100, basically you can cash it out basically, or burst it, whatever you want to call it. And he does a certain amount of damage per planetary mass. That's his whole kit. Um, so yeah, when he does trade in resistances, he gets some planetary mass, but he gets 5 more per. So, and he can get up to 20 of each. I think to get 20, you have to do 2 L3s worth of hits. So for whatever that's worth, the last synergy was for Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, honestly, it's useless to me. 50% more incinerate damage. But if you're playing this character, you're not going to really be doing the L2, I don't think. You could do it to increase the potency of your Fury buffs, which may be a good idea if you're just trying to actually do damage with your hits, which is what his L1 is good for. You could spam it a few times, and it's a 26-second Fury, so if you could technically, since he has no really good synergies, you can probably bring in the best one to bring with him would be Magneto, the white one, and then Captain America with one of the cosmics. That will allow his Fury buff to be 25%. All his buffs 25%, but basically just the Fury buff 25% more time on it. So you would get, whatever it is, 5 seconds longer or something. His L3 is a different thing altogether. So he gets planetary mass off of it, but I think people would use it mostly to refresh his harvest time. Basically, get close to your L2, enable harvest, punch into them till it's about to expire, and then use the L3. This will allow you to regenerate and to keep unstoppable longer, and also gain more planetary mass if you wanted to do that. So, like I said, this is a use case scenario guy. His two things that I see that are substantial are his burst damage and his ability to take a punch to the face. Um, his resistance buffs, I'll show you. He actually can take a massive beating and not take any damage. It's actually pretty crazy. So you're gonna have. I think he's personally made to be an asshole on defense. Personally, in my opinion, I don't think he was made to be an attacker. I think he was made specifically to make people mad on defense, because I think there's only 2 counters to him right now. Wakan and Namor are the only ones that you can really stop his garbage with. Mephisto, this is the first champion that Mephisto cannot take power from, which means they either change Mephisto's. They don't call it a power steal or anything like that. It was always its own unique thing. I've used Mephisto since he came out. I can tell you 100%. Anyone that was immune to powers drain, blah 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 blah, he could always drain their power anyway. It was like a unique thing that he could do. Maybe it was broken, maybe, I don't know, whatever. But he cannot. You cannot L3 this guy when he has 2 bars and then take his power. It won't work like that. So, but Mephisto is good for him because you can. Although he's immune to Fate Seal and Nullify, you can stop all his garbage buffs through Soul Imprisonment, which currently I don't think anyone's immune to that. Hopefully they never make anyone immune to that. So yeah, you can stop his garbage buffs that way. Neutralize, I'm pretty sure you can use Neutralize. They did that on purpose because it's a newer debuff, and they want people to use Tigra and all those garbage champions. Anyway, so also one thing you should know is that his duped ability, I do not have it. Obviously, you can see he will do 50% more damage if you have max signature stones on him. I'm just going to go by max for you guys, just so you understand, to give him the benefit of the doubt. So if you have max, he's going to do 80 something, whatever it says, their direct damage. And his normal damage when he does his harvest is 100 and something. Where is it? 174 for each. 175 basically for each planetary mass. You times that by 999. Of course, I don't know, honestly. I think it's subjective when you should harvest. I don't think it matters personally, because it's all based on your base attack. So you cannot up his burst with suicides. You cannot up him with the fury buffs, which is pretty lame to me. They should have tied it to the fury buffs, honestly, in my opinion. This would have made him more viable, but he can hit hard if you just sit there and spam the L1. You'll get some good damage out of him, and overall, he'll end fights quicker that way by using just the L1. You could mix in an L2 to get a little bit of potency on your Fury. You can get about what is it, 40% maybe. I think that's what it is. Yeah, it gets about 40% on any new buffs. So how long does it last? 22 seconds. So you can probably get off about 3 Fury stack things. So you can probably get about 12 of them. 12 Furies off in that time. His Fury is extremely weak. So it's arguable that he needs that. Where is it? It's like 200 something damage. Yeah, 242 damage. His attack is 3,000. So yeah, it's not a lot. But they stack up. You could stack up. I think I've got the 16 at the most. I'm not sure. Maybe it was 12. I'm not. Anyway, so let's go ahead and use them. Again, just remember, he will do about 50% more. I'm not gonna say damage. He would do about. I guess his burst damage, you could say, will do 50% more burst damage if he has max sig and duped. I want to say that. I think that's tied to something though. Hold on one second. I think in order to get that, where does it say stun immune? This is striking the opponent with the staff. Blah blah blah. Becomes stun immune and burst of while harvest. Okay, while harvest is active. So while it's active, you will get that damage. So actually, it's not 50%. I'm giving him way too much power here. So while the harvest is active, you'll be doing this amount of direct damage when he gains planetary mass. Only when he gains planetary mass. So 4 out of his 5 hits, he gains planetary mass. So you'll be doing that while it's active, and it's usually, I think it's active for about 6 seconds. Is it 6 seconds? It's not active for very long. Once you start it, I think it usually goes out. Honestly, I usually burst it right away. But if you're trying to regen or keep unstoppable, yeah, and his regen is pretty horrid. It's not expected to be good, honestly, because he can take a lot of hits. So any regen is good. Any survivability I like. That's one thing I personally like, is his regen. So anyway, let's fight with him. So let's just do like I said. Let's bring. If you bring Mr. Fantastic, he's only gonna keep 1 buff active while he's hitting people. If you do the Cosmic Synergy with him, so I think it's better to overall just go ahead and use Captain One Pump. Where is he? I think here he goes. So you're gonna want to use Mr. One Pump here. I guess you'll have, in this case, you're unfortunately gonna have to bring Gamora or Thor. I don't know. Or if you're a Captain Marvel fan, you can bring that 25%. I guess you could maybe do the other one instead. Maybe, I'm not sure. Would that be better? Cause yeah, I think the Cap one is all buffs, right? So yeah, this is all buffs. So this will include his SP2 buff. So that will actually be very helpful. If you do use Mr. Fantastic, I think he'll be able to keep that SP2 buff active for a very, very long time, as long as you're hitting into them. Because it looks like... No, it'll only be 1, because they count as individual. Okay. He'll only keep 1 active. Never mind. So yeah, this is the best way. Honestly, I don't know who else to bring. I mean, you can bring... I'd say the best one to give you some damage is going to be Magneto. Which I passed. And then you're going to want to bring Colossus, which I'm not a fan of, but you know, if you're a Colossus fan, you know, hey, this is for you, man. Colossus gains some benefits here. Magneto gains some benefits. So that's cool if you're like a fan of all these guys. Alright, let's go in. So this is just my opinion, guys. I think it's best we honestly don't be hyping these champs up like they're some type of gods or something. Because honestly, if I bring Cosmic Ghost Rider in, you'll see the difference right away. Alright, so let's bring it. So every attack except the one, you build up his resistances, which is what you want to do. You want to do that. The L1 also gives you 50 more, whatever it's called, the planetary mass. I think it's 50. I don't know. Yeah, it's 50. So that's another reason why you want to do the L1. Help you build it up quicker. You see it does a little bit more damage. I think what we're going to do, just to test it, is we're going to go to the L2. Oh, and for your reference, I'm going to tell you right now, I've fought this Winter Soldier before, and I can tell you 100% that he does 50% of his damage with max stacks. Come on. I'm gonna do it here, and then I'm gonna do this. So he's damn near max stacks. You see I bursted him? There you go. That was the damage. I didn't see it, but I'm sure you did. Come on. So this is how you would play him. Honestly, you could probably just throw the L1 all day. I guess if you were really thirsty for charges, you could just go to the L3. Here, let's build up his charges, though. I want to build up his charges and show you guys something. Actually, I'll do that on the next one here. Let's just end this guy. This would be as if someone else was playing him, just trying to hurry up and finish the fight. So he has no reach on that. Okay. This should kill him, I think. Okay, it didn't kill him. You can see his attack damage when he has 8. About 5 and 3, 54 and 30 something. So you can see the differential there. He is completely a burst damage champion. His basic attacks did more this time than last time. So that means definitely that L2 contributes heavily to his damage. I think it is best case scenario to use the L2 in a slightly longer fight. Like this one, around the 400k health or whatever it is. The L2, because when I did this last time, it took a little bit longer, and he did a little bit more harvest damage, but basically no basic attack damage. It was around 20%. Everything was harvest, basically. And I think it took longer as well. It was around 160 hits or so. Okay, so also, one thing that will help him is his... I didn't tell you about his crossfight. He has a crossfight. All it does to me, essentially, guys, well, you can read it, but I can just tell you right now, it's basically to give you any Cosmic Champion, make them a counter to Penny Parker. That's all it is. Reduce the potency of power burn effects by 100%. At 0 victories. Though, if you try to use it with 1 victory, or because he starts off with 1, it doesn't work for some reason. So you have to actually win a fight before you can put this on someone. What else does he do? It's at the top. He gains something through each phase. So he gains these solar intensity things. And it gives the potency of his buffs 20%. So his fury will actually go up a decent amount. So it will be more viable, I think, to use the L2 with a bunch of L1s when you're at max solar intensity. And he also gains True Sense. and bypassing miss and auto block when he reaches 3, which will be after 2 fights. Unless you use his charges, and then he loses them. So, alright, but here, let me show you guys something real quick. I found this pretty cool. I like this part about him. If you get a bunch of these charges on him, okay, you can see she didn't hit me very hard there at all. But wait till we get up some more charges, actually. Come on. I might have had this active, now that I think about it. Here, let's get 2 off real quick. I want to see the damage of his hits now. Come on. So it looks like he does about 1,000. Well, he's not doing that much more on his medium. His light attacks seem to do more. Anyway, so, oops, sorry about that. Here, let's do this. So watch this, watch this. I don't know, it was looking like no damage when I was using it yesterday. Hold up. Maybe, was it because I used the L3? It made it more intense or something? I don't know what it was, but yesterday I took a few hits from him and it did no damage. It was the strangest thing. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this guy. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, maybe, I don't know. It could be viable if you have some sort of power gain synergy to get him to L3 quicker and then get your charges that way. That might be more viable. But personally, I think the way I'm doing it is the way you should do it. The way I did it in the first fight. You can see the regen's probably like willpower. That's what it feels like to me. So yeah, this is Galan, guys. So you can see, wow, he did some more basic damage there. His special attacks are absolutely pathetic, man. Holy shit. Yeah, it's a or his harvest is just so OP. But yeah, so 120 hits. That's pretty good. Yeah, he's cool, man. But he's definitely a use case scenario. Just know that. And they are certainly going to use him as a defender, and he is going to piss you off pretty soon, either in war or in a quest. So just be ready to bring neutralize champions, rank them up, rank up Wakan if you get him. Luckily, I have Wakan. He's going to take away the burst damage. Anyone who can take away the burst damage, or possibly Kitty Pryde, you can get lucky maybe. I don't know how that would work. I think honestly he will just tank Kitty Pryde. He will get so many of those buffs that her damage will be pathetic. But she would be able to get past the burst if you could time her invisible right. But yeah, anyone who can deal with burst damage, that's who you need. Wakan was obviously built for it. They certainly made this guy with the intentions of dealing with this guy. So when he does get true damage, you're gonna get, if you do get hit, you get a bunch of power. And with his L1, where is it? His L1, he gets a regen, so he gets some health, and then he gets 100% of the missing health caused by energy damage from bursts and damaging debuffs. So yeah, you're going to want this guy. He also has neutralize, so he'll take care of his garbage stuff, his buffs, so he won't be able to get as many of them. He's going to sack some, but he won't be able to get many. Anyway guys, have a good one. Peace.